It's a little bit ahead.
Yeah. Because I was at that. So, yeah, I mean, I was there.
Coach, I know you guys say you don't listen to the media and all that stuff. You just kind of do your own thing. But, the stuff that came out in the Portland paper yesterday with John Canzano, I'm sure you guys have heard about that.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I probably got more text messages about that than anything. But, the reality of it is, I've been called a lot of things in my day, but I've never been called soft and not tough and not resilient. So we'll go play the game.
A little more motivation with that?
We got to play the game.
We kind of touched on the lack of a third receiver Monday and prior. Last year, I think you had 6 guys ended up with like 35 plus, but no one more than 47.
Right.
And you're going to only have probably 2 guys get to that spot at this pace,
right.
This year. So what happens to Austin and Kaysen because of that?
Well, there's, they're primary receivers on more plays, and it challenges them mentally, because we have to move them around when they become the primary guys. That they can't be stationary targets and line up in one place on the field, or it's easier to double those guys. So it's challenged them, I think, mentally. In a perfect world, we'll find another guy as we keep moving forward that can be a consistent, reliable guy in that scenario, especially on third down in the red zone. But in the meantime, we've got 2 really primary receivers, and then a crew behind them that is by committee. And some guys have done some good things at certain times, but the consistency hasn't been exactly what we wanted. So we lean on 88 and 2, and they've been productive for us.
Would your preference be to have last year's scenario or to have 2?
That's a good question, because I've had it so many different ways over the years, where, there was early years at SC when it was 2 guys every year, whether it was Mike Williams and Kerry Colbert, or whether it was Dwayne Jarrett and Steve Smith. And then when we got here, that was a bit new to me, that the ball got spread around so much for the first few years. And so now we're back to an arena that I'm comfortable with. I'm used to having 2 guys that are your primary guys, but I think from an offensive standpoint, it'd be nice to have 3 guys or even 4 guys and have it spread out a little bit more. I think it's a little bit tougher on the defense when it's that way.
When plays are broken down, Steve, and Keith's running around for his life back there, are you liking what the receivers are doing and breaking off or coming back or those kind of things?
At times, I think we're still understanding. I thought we had a really veteran group of receivers last year that had a great understanding of how to move with the quarterback when he got out of the pocket. We have guys that are learning how to do that right now. I think we're getting better, but I know we'll only improve as the more they play football.
So you've noticed that as a difference?
Sure. One of the just fundamental things when a quarterback scrambles is you want to move in the direction of the quarterback, not in the opposite direction of the quarterback. Even though there's green grass over there to run to, you want to move with the quarterback, and we've had a little bit of a difficult time understanding that.
Was that third quarter first play at Arizona example of that when Keith fumbled? He said he held onto the ball waiting for a receiver to break.
No, that wasn't the issue.
They were all our transitions with that play, right?
Yeah, we forgot a motion.
Right.
We didn't block the protection properly, and it's unfortunate because Cody Bruns was open by about 30 yards. So,
yeah.
That's just kind of the way it's gone for us here for a little bit. So we just got to get to a point where we execute and do the things the right way so that we can take advantage of those things.
Coach Keith talked about Keith having a spark in his eye again. How do you feel he's coming along this week? Is he starting to get back to the
really good? He's really good today. I don't know if he threw an incompletion there for a while. I mean, he was really good. So he's got a good understanding. He's got a good pep in his step, and he's a great competitor. He'll come and play.
On the offensive side of the ball, who are some other guys that are really looking like they showed up to practice this week?
I think Ben Riva's comfort level is it's the second week now of really playing a lot of football. That's been exciting. I think Michael Harbison is starting to show some signs of heading back in a positive direction. Jadon Mickens, I think, is another guy who's showing some signs of continuing to try to build upon his playing time and doing good things. But all in all, I think the last 2 days of practice have been awesome. I've enjoyed them. They've been physical. They've been tough. They've been challenging on the guys from a one-on-one scenario standpoint and spotlighting, individual battles. And I think it's been great, and our kids have responded really well to it.
You said after the last game that you threw the ball way too much.
Yeah.
And what can you do to get that going against Oregon State? Because they've got a really good secondary.
They do. They're excellent. They have a good defense. You give them a lot of credit. They do a good job. They run a system that they believe in, that they've done for years, and so balance is key for us. We're at our best offensively when we're balanced. When we're running it, throwing it, mixing it up, formations, play action, pass. That's when we're at our best. When we're lopsided one way or the other, we're generally not at our best. And so, unfortunately, last week when the game got to where it was, you're trying to work your way back into the game, and that's how your numbers can get to where you throw the ball over 50 times. And we're not at our best as an offensive football team, and that occurs.
James Johnson was considered to be, he's going to be an important person. Do you have an update on him at this point?
Yeah, I mean, he's rehabbing now. Got all the pins and everything removed out of his wrist, and so the good part for us is he gets to use a redshirt year that he still has available to him. We get him back for another year next year, kind of how we had Cody this year. So we get a veteran receiver with tremendous leadership qualities that James possesses for us in 2013.
Coach, we're on the front lines dealing with the fans, and there's a lot of anger, frustration, they're pissed off, they're venting, no excuses, you're not young, we've heard this all before. What message do you have to Husky fans out there?
As frustrated and as upset and mad and anything that anybody is, believe me when I say there's a lot more in our building than there is on the outside. This is our lives, we live it.